Welcome to Football Fund Exclusive Podcast. Bruce alongside Chris. This is the place where you find real fans with authentic views. My friend, Chris, all is well. Talking about the Blues and Chelsea Blues yesterday. Big decision in the game yesterday. City won game 1-0 yesterday to maintain a 6-point gap in the table. But the decision is, did VAR get the call wrong at the last there to give an Everton award penalty to Everton?
To me, it's if they're saying offside, which I don't think was the call. If they were saying offside, then then no. But not to give a handball there, it's very, very harsh. And I think again I would say the same thing once more, that VAR should stay out of the calls when it comes to on-field decisions, because I think that's where we have a problem with VAR, right? And we discussed at length, before the podcast about Trevor Chaloba's tackle with Keita. Now, if that was another game, that's a red card. So there needs to be some understanding. And if we see the replay and you see he steps square, studs up into Trevor Chaloba, it doesn't matter what happened before. He stepped on him and Trevor Chaloba didn't touch him. Right, so it's a red card. Once we replay, it's a red card. No, there's semantics to it, but it would seem like it's a red card. Right. Yesterday it was different. It was just Rodri by himself and the ball hit his hand. That's totally different. And for them not to get a penalty for that, and then City go on to win the game, it's you start to feel like there's a level of fixing in the Premier League. Right? No, I'm saying you would feel like there's a level of fixing. Like this team shouldn't lose. No, you'd feel that way. As if it was your
everybody
team,
everybody get cars either way.
No, but if it was your team at that moment when City was under pressure from Liverpool, for them to get that call, for them to get off that, right? You would feel that way. You'd wonder. What?
So when I never forget it, Azuma was for Raheem Sterling in the box against Chelsea in the cup finals. Was cup finals?
There was the FA Cup.
FA Cup.
So Zuma's foul is more questionable than this situation because they were tackling. This one, he was by himself. Nobody was there. It was just him.
Have you heard what they said about it?
But Zuma's foul?
No.
No, they're saying it was offside.
Okay. So if it was offside, nothing else matters. And even so,
but before that, they checked the handball and they said it wasn't a handball. It was below the shirt line. That's what I'm saying. That's what's causing the problem.
It was difficult to identify.
That cannot be difficult. You have about 50 cameras around the field. You can get any angle you want. And I don't understand why every time VAR chooses the worst angle, but the TV or the broadcasting company, whether it be BT Sports, Sky Sports, they always find the best one. So they need to sort that out, because I think VAR is giving themselves a bad name. Fine for offside, but when it comes to the on-field decisions, let the referee miss it in real time.
So you don't think VAR today against this one? Don't talk about today against Chelsea Liverpool, that offside call, that interference call. You think the red call by VAR at the time?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I didn't see it. I thought it was just a goal. But we saw something similar for Maguire versus Burnley. So I thought it was a goal, but then, he interfered with the run of the player, so that put him in the play.
Did he fall him?
No, but he blocked the run. He stood up and blocked the run. So once the player can't run, then he's in the play, because he's the one who did it. So that put him in the play, and that's where he got offside.
So you said, I love use the word subjective. You said it was subjective call. I mean, say you're not sure if it's.
No, but I think this is the only call VAR has gotten consistent, because the first time we saw it was the one against Manchester United, and then this one. So they are 2 for 2 in the same situation, right? So we can't argue about this call per se, right? Because they got this scenario of calls, correct, right? Because this is new, because the referee could not have spotted this, right? He just knew this guy wasn't offside, and that was it. But then, on the replay, I'm saying, if you can get that detail on the replay, how can you not see when Roger handles the ball, or when Naby Keita steps into Chalobah?
I think
that's what I'm saying. You can get this level of detail.
Right. I think no. If referee unfield the call the penalty, I don't think VAR will turn it. Would you agree with me? If the unfield referee,
said red card.
It's a penalty. No. Back to City game.
Okay.
And the referee said red card. It's a penalty.
Yes.
You think VAR overturn it?
No, but then
Oh,
you cannot say this is not a clear and obvious error. You cannot say, when you look at the replay, you cannot say that this ball didn't hit his hand. It's not a clear and obvious error. So why aren't you intervening? Then we have no purpose of VAR. So it's also another thing.
I'm not agree with that, but no purpose of VAR.
No, I'm saying, no, with the on-field calls. I'm not saying about the off-field, the offsides and the goal line stuff and all of that. They're fine for that. They're good with that. I'm saying the on-field calls, right?
When it goes against you.
Not when it goes against you overall, because a lot of the times I don't have any personal stake with Manchester United or with City per se or with Liverpool, right? I don't have any personal stake, but sometimes, right, these calls go. All right, case in point, right? In the cup before the final, Liverpool played Leeds, right? Now Kehela came out and he kicked the Leeds player in his shin. He missed the ball completely and he kicked the player, right? On the replay, it showed that he kicked him, but he didn't get sent off, and he was the last man, right? So I'm saying, how does VAR miss this but see Van Dijk offside? Right? That's my question. How did they miss that? On the replay, you see this on a replay. How they missed it and then see Van Dijk offside? Like, because seeing Van Dijk interfering with the play, there is a level of detail. Like, it's a very high level of detail to see Van Dijk offside. But then they don't see when Kehela, gashes this player right on his calf, right? Missing the ball totally. I don't get it. Right? They don't see when the ball hits Roger's hand and they don't work it out like, Roger handled the ball. So it would seem like,
The thing is,
it's an agenda.
A part of red card is the intention and history. For example, my team Arsenal is not a red cards and VAR. When Xhaka tackled, like referee VAR.
Yeah, but you can't say history.
Well, so I passed two since Ateta been in the league. I think they say 18 red cards, 15. I'm not quite sure, but record the most red cards for the team, right? Xhaka picked up several of them, and most times if you get a red card, VAR calls say, "Oh, the tackle was too hard and stuff." So what happened?
So this is Xhaka's history.
History and the red card is the intention. The intention. Did he try to replay it? Did he try? Was he excessive force? So some players, I think.
No. Hold on. That's in one scenario. If the keeper is the last man and he comes and he misses the ball and he takes the player, it's a red card. There's no two ways about it, especially when the player is going towards goal. It's a red card.
True.
And he didn't get the ball, and so it was a red card. It wasn't a discussion. It was just a red card, right? No, he got nothing, right? Not even a yellow card.
I feel like it's clear.
And it was early. It was clear, Bruce. It was all over the Daily Mail and everything. So it was clear. They saw it. They showed the replay and showed that yes, he kicked the player, right? So it wasn't a scenario where, it wasn't shown on camera that he touched him, because the Daily Mail had it just moments after showing that Kehela kicked the player. Right? So it's just, it's hard to understand how you can see this level of detail and miss that.
I think cards go either way. I think we got a card for a simple against City too. But I wouldn't say the league is for City or for Liverpool. Or for
yeah, well, I think the league is for City. All right. Listen,
no.
I'll give you another point. Hold on. I'll give you another point. I'll give you another point. And if you disagree with me on this point, then I will say, okay, right? City play tactical fouling. So does Liverpool, right? The tactical fouler on Liverpool's team is Fabinho, right? The tactical fouler on City's team is Rodri, right? These two players that sit in the hole. How many times have you seen Fabinho break up an attack? A blatant counter, and he just fouls the man and break it up. How many times? How many cards does he get? No more. How many cards does he get? And then no, he doesn't. Not a lot.
Yeah, I understand.
And if you look at the flip side, when say Leeds, Calvin Phillips fouls, let's say Jota, he gets a card immediately. So automatically the referee assume that Liverpool's counter or City's counter is way more dangerous than these guys these guys counter because
No,
they're
so-
allowing
so-
Fabinho to foul
so
consistently
I think-
without
no,
being
I think-
carded. And
I think
Rodri,
the difference really is the frequency. They do get cards too. They do get cards, but the frequency which occur. For example, Calvin Phillips going to tackle more than Fabinho or Rodri in any given game. Yeah, any given game. So chances are he's getting a card going to increase, right? So in the season he may have more cards than those two.
but let me
in the
ask you a
same
question.
position.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If a player is going to goal and you stop him blatantly without getting the ball from going towards goal and he's going on to goal, right? Isn't it a yellow card?
Yeah, yellow card. depends on
Exactly,
if-
and that's what they do. If you watch the games, that's what they do.
No,
they
no.
foul the players.
So, listen,
So
fine,
Rodri and Fabinho, they foul these players, and when they foul them, they break up the play, and it's just a free kick. If
So
the
Jordan
flip
is
side
something-
happens, the
Jordan
next
is
thing gets a
something-
yellow.
But Cristiano, I think, all right, just to clear the VAR thing though, do you think the table is a reflection of how the teams are playing this season? Or they are, look at the table. The table said,
Yes,
City first,
I
Liverpool
think, I
second,
think, I
Chelsea
think
third.
so. I think so. I think definitely. And I would never say Chelsea. No, Liverpool and City don't have quality, right? They are very good teams, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, you know, when these teams come to these clubs and they're grinding out a victory, because if you look even at yesterday how hard Everton worked, right? For this to happen,
The keeper was good yesterday.
no, but I'm saying for this to happen to Everton,
Mm.
right? It's very demoralizing for the sport, especially for the neutrals who, you know, want to see a good game. It's very demoralizing. It's very demoralizing.
So Everton did a point. It's a different game. Everton did a point.
I'm not saying that they would. I'm not saying that they would have gotten a point. I'm saying City might have turned.
It was
the
a- it was
screw.
offside.
City,
It was
City
offside.
might.
It was
City might.
offside, so.
No, I'm just saying City might have turned the screw, and when they turned the screw, then you know they would have given them 3 within 10 minutes. They scored 3 goals. Fine, we don't know. This is football. They
I
lost.
wouldn't
the
have played
top
that score either. If they had a player,
no, I'm saying. So let's assume they go 1-0 up. City maybe score 2 goals right after.
Maybe they was
So
brilliant though. In goal yesterday for
you mean Pickford?
There was brilliant. He made 2 point blank saves.
Oh, you're talking for Watford?
No, there.
but they-
Sorry.
Pickford.
Pickford.
Yeah, I'm saying Pickford did
Yeah.
well. I'm saying, all right. So Pickford saved 2 goals, right? They're saying we're in this, and then they get a chance to win the game, right? They've been holding it up, and I'm saying this demoralizes teams over and over again when these calls happen that
And here-
you can't even see. Like, how did they get away with
But
that?
Chris, you know, a few years ago that I'm not saying the rules have changed. Right? I'm thinking the rules going to change next season again with the offside rule too. I mean, a few years ago, wouldn't even call hands ball. Kind of like he deliberately tried hands the ball. We're going to say about hands a few years ago. If it was a few years
Yeah,
ago.
but you know what the problem was now? You know what the problem was?
Under any pressure, he just ball just bounce up. And
My
down.
problem with this call, with Rodri's call, was the call that they made before in favor of City against Romero when he was trying to put his hand on his chest and the ball hit his hand from close range. That's my problem with the call. So it's inconsistent because they let off Rodri, but they penalize Romero. Right?
Okay. But
That's
I'm saying-
my problem
I'm
with the
saying-
call. It's not consistent, and it's going more in favor of City because
No,
look,
no, I don't
one day
think
City
so.
got the call, the other one they chose not to give the call.
The truth is, Chris,
Right?
it
And it's a-
teams.
Do you know that's a team of Peps? It's a theme of every team that Pep coaches. Even Barcelona came under pressure. The referee helped them.
No. The thing is, Chris, if I understand that, Chris, it's like we are living in the moment and we watch big things more. So we think to say that they get in the car more because we're cheering against them, but really and truly, I don't see any data.
No,
shows
no,
that
it's
they
not
get in the
about
car.
cheering against Everton. I thought City would have defeated Everton. I didn't
Yeah, but
expect
that point
Everton
I'm
to
cheering for them.
defeat them. But when you get a chance, like Everton has, you cannot be unfair and not give Everton their chance, right? And that's what I'm saying. It's very demoralizing because right after that, now Everton went on to lose the game, right? It's very demoralizing to think that you deserve something and the referee just said no, and you can't argue with the referee because you're just going to
And
get carded, right? So you just sit there and be demoralized.
So
Right,
think
and that's
Everton
not
did
good.
more than different performance today?
Of course, they were demoralized because
And they're encouraged.
everybody saw that was a penalty. When the game ended, Lampard said even his 3-year-old daughter could have saw that it was penalty, and I'm betting he's
I
going to
think
get
they-
fined.
they'll be encouraged.
And I'm betting he's going to get fined for it just by saying that he's going to get fined. So you can't question the referees,
But they were
right?
offside.
And they're making bad decisions. So how do you feel if you can't say anything and there are bad decisions being made? You are going to feel demoralized. You're just going to sit there and be demoralized.
After that still, so I mean...
No, I'm saying if they said offside, then fine. But they didn't say offside. We're talking about the handball. They said no handball. Right? That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. VAR should stay out of it. If they say no, they just stay out of it. Let's just say the ref didn't see it. If you see, if the ref missed it, if the ref missed it in real time, it wouldn't be an issue. The problem is coming from the fact that VAR can review it. That's where the problem is coming from. VAR can review it. Right? So that's where the problem is coming from. Everybody saw it. Then the broadcasting company with like BT Sports is going to put it up on the screen and say, maybe Roger got away with one. And we all see it. And we all know you're looking at it. And then you come back and say, no, it's nothing. Then we're all going to wonder what's happening.
You know why we think VAR repping Champions League?
Because they don't show us.
Oh, good, beautiful. And
best they do that. Best they do that. But then the paper is going to show it. Then the paper is going to show it.
It's the problem, Chris. VAR, even though... So I'm saying to you, there's something VAR that's not subjective.
I'm saying VAR is good for offside. So I'm saying VAR is good for that. They should just leave the unfield. Let the ref miss it in real time.
No, VAR improve football by far. Improve.
I'm saying if you're gonna make these calls, leave it to the referee because we just have two. It's just like we were upset that the ref missed it, but then you could have slowed it down and looked at it, and then you missed it, so we are more upset than before.
So I'm saying, Chris, VAR as like for example, so they made everything right today. They call back a goal which referee award a goal. So set the game, they never impact the game. So they may not look at it, two calls. They make two big calls in the game. I mean, today, I think offside goal, but today they make some big calls in the game. Yeah? They got a big call today in a single penalty. Yes, Liverpool still won the game. They made a big call yesterday which go wrong. But truth is, they reduce error by referee by half, technically speaking. You can say both cause errors. The referee missed the handball, as I said, that's in the outside, and the referee missed the interference and play today for the goal. Missed both calls now. But VAR at least call back one. So that's how VAR has improved the game. It won't get 100%.
No, you can't miss that. No. We can't give them a pass for missing that foul.
No. What I'm saying, we cannot
give them a pass. No, we cannot give them a pass for missing.
No, man, fouls are
as good as they did on the Van Dijk call. We cannot give them a pass for missing that.
So, but I'm saying, fouls are subjective. The foul and
so stepping in a player is subjective. This is what I'm talking about. That's weird. You're saying stepping into a player is subjective. Head on.
Depends on
so the player, what the player felt doesn't count. The impact that you have on the player. So you're saying this is your statement. Mm-hmm. Chalobah foot is broken, but because of how they tackled, it is subjective. What if that had happened?
Yeah,
and Chalobah got his foot broken.
That's true.
Right? Is it subjective? So that you went no. You went in studs up into Chalobah and his foot got broken. You didn't get a red card because it's subjective. That's garbage, man. You stepped in. You stepped. It doesn't matter. You stepped. It's just like I see players elbow somebody elbow hit somebody, right? And it's not purpose, but the elbow hit him and it was at an angle. It wasn't even purposeful.
So if elbow never swing and jump and so then gonna be a red card, depending on how you reach him. But look at it, for example. And injuries doesn't determine the color of the card. So
yes, but if you were found stepping, studs up challenges are red cards. Right? That's the first thing. Studs up challenges are red card. Any tackle above the knee is a red card. And this was both. His studs was up. His studs went full on into the player. So you can't justify this. Now I'm not saying that Chelsea would have won. I'm just saying once it goes to VAR, there's no justifying it. It's a red card once it goes to VAR because the tackle is above his knee, right? And on top of that, the tackle is studs up, definite. Mm-hmm. So there's no justifying. That's not a red card.
Both of them legs are up.
Both of them legs are up, but Chalobah legs wasn't in his direction. He came into Chalobah. That's the difference. So when Chalobah tackled, both legs were up, but you stepped into me, so you can't get a pass. Step into me because my leg is up. You stepped directly into me. I didn't step into you. Now, if both had stepped onto each other, then we can say, okay, either we send off both of them or let them play, which is different. But one player didn't step on one. So one has to come off. The one that stepped directly into this player has to come off. Right? Because that's a definite step. That's a definite step. Right? It wasn't a chance. It was a step.
Okay. But once it's subjective though, I mean, we gotta go and debate it. Next thing though, News of England, Bielsa, infamous Bielsa. I mean, you got